Okay, well let's go. So in America we have gotcha journalism. So we're gonna mix up the questions. They will be obviously terribly difficult to answer and all that.
I'm
but
used to that.
Yeah. So you've been married for 2 years now, and I'm just kind of curious what you're most proud of that you've done so far. Maybe what's been your biggest disappointment or your biggest struggle.
Well, what I'm actually most proud of is still being here.
Okay.
Because this has been very challenging and very tough. And I'm very proud of this group of people that joined me on this adventure, and us sticking together and nobody giving up, nobody bailing out, so that we have managed to be here for now 2 years. Makes me very, very proud, and I think it's very important and unique because in the history of populist protest political parties, they usually dissolve after the elections. You know, people say, campaign was fun, but I'm not in for this. And the weird thing is that us being chaotic and anarchic, we have brought stability into the city. And now I have now been mayor longer than anyone since 2003.
That's pretty crazy.
Because of the political instability that has been going on.
Sure. What have you found most difficult or most challenging?
Probably the responsibility and all the information that I have to take in. The things I have to understand, things that I'm honestly not interested in.
That's perfect, because that goes into one of my other questions, which is, were you prepared for the mundane kind of day-to-day slog of actually running a city? Because that's so different than your campaign, the energy behind your campaign.
No, I wasn't prepared for it at all.
That's a very honest answer.
I had no idea what I was getting into. And I think even many of my associates in the Best Party didn't realize even how little I knew about because I've never followed politics. I've never followed contemporary politics, except when you change presidents, it's it's like new president. Who's the president of the United States? Yeah, it's this guy now. Yeah, that's brilliant. And I know who's the president. I rarely knew who was prime minister here. And when people appeared on television as politicians and explaining something, I rarely knew who they were. So in the early campaign, I was not aware that we were running for municipality elections. I thought we were running for parliament.
So you didn't even know the position you were seeking? Okay, all right.
No.
All right.
That was in the just early beginning. And the things that come with the job, I was not prepared for at all. Our biggest task when we started was starting to prepare the budget for the city. I had no idea.
Yeah. So what did you? So you sat down with smart people and said, "Tell me about the budget." Like, what was that? What was your strategy?
Well, my strategy from the beginning was just admitting I know nothing.
Yeah. That's that most politicians don't admit that. That's
Yeah, I've noticed.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I admitted that I didn't know the difference between a billion and a trillion. You know. So what's the difference again? Yeah, and I was beaten up.
Yeah.
About it, you know.
Learning on the job experience. That's kind of what you went in for. Figuring.
Yeah, but I also, you know, by admitting that I didn't know, I took a beating.
Yeah,
you know.
in the press and
in the press
yes.
and from professional politicians.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's what most politicians do is not know anything and then just pretend their way through it, right?
yeah, there was some interview with me on the news here on TV here, local TV here,
Mm-hmm.
and I was asked some question, and I said I just honestly don't know, and it was like a breakthrough or something.
Yeah.
It was like the first time in the world, in the history of humanity, that a politician on television says that he doesn't know, but I can find out and I can call you later, or have somebody call you who knows.
That's great. All right, well, let me ask you this about your campaign, because you came to prominence as kind of an anti-politician, right? Mm. And you were watching some debates and interviews during the campaign, and you did begin, at first you were very much just telling jokes, but you began to give these very eloquent, thoughtful answers about kind of how the Icelandic political class had ignored the role of artists, and really anyone who was a non-financial person within Reykjavik. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like your campaign kind of evolved as you began to rise in prominence or rise in the polls?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's always touched me affected me very deeply, the disrespect for artists, especially from authority. Mm-hmm. and people in authority people, like we are some second class people, and there's always this discussion annually about support for the arts. Why should we support art, and so on. Iceland, I mean, we're tiny. We're so tiny, and many people around the world don't even know we exist.
Yeah.
But we are globally known for art and music, especially.
Yeah.
And that makes me very proud. When I go somewhere, I can go wherever. To Kuala Lumpur or wherever, and if somebody will ask me where I'm from, and I will say I'm from Iceland, people will say, Iceland, yeah, Björk.
Yeah.
So that makes me very proud, and it makes me very proud to be to be an Icelandic artist.
Yeah.
So when they started, or our opponents started criticizing us for just being a group of artists, that really pissed me off.
Yeah.
So maybe then I got more serious.
Yeah.
Just pointing the obvious, that we are a very artistic country, and we should put emphasis on that, our art, and So and then came the idea that can artists enter into politics?
Yeah.
And that was serious.
At what point during your campaign did you go, oh shit, I might actually win this?
The last few days.
So
Then we realized it kind of, how do you say, dawned on me.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yes. Good American idiom. Yeah.
Yeah. That this was going to happen, and I kind of panicked. What am I getting into? And how many years it is again?
What's the term limit?
Was it 3 or 4? It's 4 years, and just the last few days.
What's the future? It's called the Bright Future Party now.
No. That's a link from. No, has really no ties to.
Okay, so still the best party.
It's still the best party, and there were some people within the best party who wanted to go nationally.
Okay,
so
that's my question. Are there plans to go nationally? And I also heard you were sending people overseas to Europe to talk about perhaps expanding it. Is there any truth to that?
Well, there are some political parties or political movements that have certain similarities with politically with us. For example, the Pirate Party.
Okay.
And they are quite exciting, I think. So I've been in some. We've had some meetings and discussions, but I mean the best party is non-existent. It doesn't exist. It has no members. It has no manifesto.
Yeah.
Other than just nonsense. So but the point is by naming it the best party is that there is no such thing as the best party. But and never will be. So yeah.
So will you seek another term as mayor, or try for higher office, or is this a one-time deal?
I'm definitely not going for any higher office than this. This is more than well, not more than I can handle, but this is enough. I don't know about the second term. I just haven't decided yet, and also it's not just up to me, because we are a group of people, and it's I feel a certain type of responsibility towards the people, because it was I who dragged them into this.
Yeah.
So we're a group. So it's not just up to me, it's.
What about could a phenomenon like the best party or your candidacy happen in America? Because it seems like there was this very specific set of circumstances in Iceland that kind of allowed you to sneak in and take this thing.
Well, it's a lot of our success here is due to our naivety and our Icelandic society is not as advanced as your society, for instance.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's kind of like a shire, like with hobbits. It's
Okay.
we're it's much more simpler here. I don't think, honestly, and I've thought about it, and I've been asked, and people have wondered about it. Could this happen? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think if somebody like me would enter into or try to enter into some have tried, but I mean, they would be skinned alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would be. Yeah, I think it's not possible. I have also wanted, for instance, England.
Yeah.
If some famous English comedian would decide to go into politics, and they have some good comedians that are political, controversial figures like Eddie Izzard, and I've thought about it. If Eddie Izzard would, for instance, go into politics, they would crucify him.
Well, do you think there's something about the nature of democratic systems that we're talking about sophistication where very self-righteous, I guess insufferable, self-important kind of dickweed types always end up winning political office because that's just what voters reward or tend to reward?
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I mean, people tend to favor the underdog. We always, like in the movies, we favor the underdog. But when it comes to voting, we vote for the bully. It's so strange. We trust the bully much better than we trust the underdog. Maybe it's in our nature, but it is so that all around the world there is this certain types that can succeed in politics, and it's people who are like alpha types of people, very, very logical, determined, and ruthless also, can be very ruthless. So if we are going to change democracy, we have to find ways to how do you say, to get more different types of people to enter into politics.
Yeah.
But the system is not like that now. You
No.
have to be like alpha type.
Hey, we're from America. We know better than
you know,
anyone.
yeah, you know all about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about something more fun. So you may or may not be aware that David Simon, the creator of The Wire, recently got kind of in a huff because a website was bracketing his characters and putting them in tournaments against each other to see who the best character was. And he didn't think that his show was being taken very seriously in that manner. But that's okay because I think the best character question is kind of a silly one anyway. So my question, this is very important. It's going to inform a lot about you to me.
Okay.
What's your favorite season of The Wire and why?
Wow. That's the
heaviest question I've asked, for sure.
Yeah. What is my favorite season? I don't know. I haven't given this a thought for a long time. What is my favorite season? Can we get back on
Yeah, think about that. I didn't realize that would be the toughest question.
That was a really tough question, and I would really like to answer that in a very, very good way.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
We've been traveling around a lot. We're just curious. There's this Icelandic haircut on men, which is the shaved on the side, parted very deeply on the side one, Where did that come from, and what's the deal with that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. Like my haircut, or
You at one point had a similar haircut.
Yeah.
But it's not quite the same.
I have a friend who is an American, and he calls my haircut, and I've had my haircut for a long time, the same haircut, and he calls it high and mighty. I don't know. I know nothing, very little of haircuts.
Okay.
And hairstyles.
Well, we're from the Midwest, so they all make us get this same one. Like, we're only allowed this one haircut.
Yeah,
and that's basically it. We just thought it might be something along those lines.
No, probably it comes from Germany.
Yeah, okay.
That might be, because stylish stuff comes from Germany a lot.
Okay.
From Cologne, mostly.
Okay. So now
maybe some guy in Cologne started doing this, and
it just spread out.
Okay. Yeah.
So now that you're Iceland's most famous comedian by quite a significant margin, do you have any plans to tackle the U.S. cultural media market? Maybe star in a reality show, date an NBA basketball player, something like that? We also have shows where you eat bugs or sing in duets with like D-list celebrities who are washed up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of your shows.
Yeah. We're not proud of them. We're not saying we're proud of them.
No, I was. I'd given thought, when we had really tough times here.
Yeah.
I was in. I went to New York for a conference, and I thought about seeking political asylum. Yeah, okay. To flee all this, but no, I haven't given it a thought.
Okay. So your future is still very much up in the air right now. You don't have specific plans for after your term.
No, it's day at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to say we're doing time in politics.
Yeah.
So maybe we get, and I don't think we have any hope of early release because of good behavior. So it's kind of a day at a time.
Yeah. Let's see. Polls persistently show, this is a funny thing that I really want to understand, that the Icelandic believe in the Elves that live in the lava rocks. Mm-hmm. So my question is, do you? And if so, we would very much like to see them if this is a thing we could do.
Yeah. No, I don't believe in them. But the elves, for many, are like representatives of nature, like the guardians of lava. Guardians of lava. I don't believe in them, and I don't think there are any scientific research that has shown that they exist. I think this comes from the time when the first this country was inhabited first by monks, by Irish monks, and then before the Vikings came here. But when the Vikings came, and the Vikings, they kind of just when they moved into a place, they just killed everybody who was there before them. And the monks knew that because they were clever, and the Vikings were not so clever. They were not as clever as the monks. So the monks hit and avoided the Vikings. So and the Vikings, so some maybe when they were walking around, they would see a strange creature lurking or running away, and they would assume it was a ghost or something.
It's a great urban legend.
Yeah, I think it comes from that, because it was just monks running for their life.
It's kind of brutal.
And they according to legend, they disappear into the stones.
Right.
And that was just, a monk going down a crack. Hiding. So it's...
We've been driving around the country looking for him, so we were disappointed.
You won't find him.
Yeah. So you said you had an American friend. We have yet to pronounce a single Icelandic word correctly in any context. Do you know any Americans who have successfully learned Icelandic? And if so, what was the point of that endeavor?
Well, there is... many autistic people have this ability to learn weird foreign languages. And I think I've heard about some autistic Americans
who've come over here and done
who
it.
have been obsessed about Icelandic and learned it and speak it fluently. And I've seen it on television.
Yeah.
An interview. I'm not really sure if they were autistic, but there was this high school kid somewhere in the States who spoke fluent Icelandic that never been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
The Wire. Can I write it?
Yes.
Can I write it and send it?
Oh, absolutely! I'd love that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just do it later today.
Yeah, I'd love to know. Do you have time for one more quick serious question?
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate National Day. Where would you direct young American guys to go in Reykjavik? And how late can we stay? Can we go to bed and not seem like wusses in this country?
Are you staying here for the 4th of July?
No, for your National Day.
For our National Day. Yeah, of course. So, how long? Where do you go?
Yeah.
Sorry, the question again.
Where should we go? What should we do? And what time can we go to bed and not seem like pansies who are getting beaten by the Icelandic?
Yeah. Well, probably city center.
Yeah.
In front of Parliament.
Okay.
That's where everything is happening, where the most action is, and there are big celebrations all around the center, and you cannot go to sleep until at least after 3.
Okay. We can probably do that.
Yeah, after 3 it's okay, but the party will still be going on.
All right. We'll try to stick with everyone that we've met.
Yeah.
And keep it. Yeah. We have to impress them. We can't. We have to represent our country. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, hey, it was such a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure talking to you.
I loved it, and I really do want to know your answer about the Wire season.
Yeah, I will send it to you later today.
Okay, I'll leave my email with you if that's okay.
That's a promise. Yes.
All right, great. All right.
And then I just really hope you enjoy your stay here.
We love it. We've been having such a good time.
Yeah. It's your first time here?
Yeah.
First time. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't spent much time in Reykjavik yet because we drove the whole country. Rented a car, so we're back here for the next 6-7 days.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're really excited, but it's been great so far.
Yeah.
Beautiful countries. Yeah, it's beautiful, gorgeous.
It is very beautiful. It's yeah. Do you know Doug Stanhope, the stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
He was here last year. He wanted to meet me.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely in love with. He's a peculiar person.
So you met him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met him and I took him to the maximum security prison and he did stand up
For the prisoners?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And his first time sober ever, doing stand up sober, because he wasn't allowed to be intoxicated. Prison.
Okay.
So yeah, we had a great time, and he was so fascinated, and people are fascinated by the harmlessness of this place. I mean, it's such a harmless place.
Well, I mean, people still hitchhike here. That's,
yeah.
You could never do that in the States.
I mean, people, you can like, I had friends from France last summer, and they were walking around, and they went to the main shopping street, and there they saw a lady with a baby carriage. And she parked the carriage outside the store, and then she went in.
Yeah, we saw that today on our way here.
And he was just, he'd never seen this before.
We were flabbergasted. The baby sitting there playing with the chair and its stroller, and there's no one to be seen.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's the harmlessness of this. It's a shire. It's a hobbit town. Everybody is.
I can't imagine who's in your maximum security prison.
Yeah.
They must have
Oh, they're not nice.
Yeah.
No, they're not nice. Yeah. They actually, some of the guys that Dog met when he was there, one guy that Dog met when he was here was killed by other inmates just a few weeks ago. So that's where all the not so nice people.
Yeah. Well, we like everybody else though. Everybody else seems lovely. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
okay.
Right.